It's Thursday, time to get off the rails, and everybody hates Joe Biden. Not Joe. They hate him too, but I said Jill. She's hit her lowest approval rating since Biden took office. Maybe it was the flowery dresses and the tacos. Oh, Jill. She's a garbage human being.
Excuse me. Did you know that she's a doctor? How dare you? How dare you?
It actually encourages people to call her that.
In fact, demands it. Insists upon it.
34% of those polled had a favorable opinion, while 29% had an unfavorable one. 37% said they were unsure. FLOTUS likability dropped 24 percentage points since January 21, when her likability was 58%. Sure it was.
I love the unsures.
Yeah, listen, they were polling people earlier this week. They didn't know how many states were in a union. They didn't know how many stars were on the flag. One dude said there were 5 states. So there's a lot of unsure people. That same guy was doing man-on-the-street interviews with people. They couldn't name who the president was before Reagan.
They couldn't name who the president was before,
like Obama.
What state is Utah in?
What does it sound like? Well, Hawaii.
It's really sad.
Puppet Master Mark, Chris Cruz, and of course Brandon at the helm, driving us into the net of the regions of all things insanity. We got to pump them numbers up. We got to get Joe Biden up there. Got to pump her up. But you know what? The elder abuse that she's engaged in and walking around telling Joe what to do, she's a condescending bitch. I mean, let's face the facts, right?
It's true. It's really sad too, because we had literally a supermodel in the White House and nobody cared.
She was a porn star. She was a porn star.
Yeah, the most beautiful, elegant, graceful woman in the White House as First Lady.
They didn't put her on any magazines.
No magazine covers, nothing. They just talked shit about her.
I mean, the White House was gorgeous at Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, she had all these ideas. It was, so there you go.
And now we have Joe Biden comparing Hispanics to breakfast tacos.
People, they just don't like conservatives. They don't. And they hated the Trumps. I don't know if you know this or not, but they hate the Trumps.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I hadn't heard.
It's weird. I didn't know that either. I didn't realize how much that they hated the Trumps. MSNBC anchor openly questions if she's doing more harm than good as media confidence plunges to a record low. Katie Tur, T-U-R, Katie Tur. They should have really put. She needs a D on the end of her name. Recent polling, again back to the polls, record lows. Just 16% of American adults have a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in newspapers. Only 11% said they had a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in TV news.
She's just now coming to that conclusion.
They found that Democrats are much more likely than Republicans or independents to place confidence in news or TV news. So, yeah, nobody trusts it. Nobody trusts it. That's why they just need to tune in to us on our shows.
Yeah.
Because we tell them, we spit the truth. Or at least our interpretation of what we hear.
Did you hear?
Just normally the truth.
Did you see the new podcast rankings that came out for podcast networks? And
no.
we are in fact ahead of CNN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played your deal on 4 Minute Buzz the other day where you said F Brian Stelter.
I was so embarrassed because I didn't realize they were going to play it. And, that's on Glenn's program. And I was just like, what did Glenn do? Chris was like, he laughed. I said, okay, good.
Well, you were bleeped.
Well, I know, but
we all know what you said.
I always feel like my TV dad looks at me in shame when I swear.
You're not Elijah Schaefer.
And to put that into perspective, what Sarah said about us being number 12, we only have 18 active shows.
I'm glad you. Yep.
CNN has 41 active shows.
Yeah.
And we still kick their butts.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
For downloads. Like, they have way more shows that people would be able to download.
Yeah.
And we still creamed them.
So we beat BBC, American Public Media, This American Life, All Things Comedy, Paramount, WNCY Studios, Cumulus, CNN.
Cumulus, yeah.
We're coming for you, the rest of y'all.
Okay. But BBC has how many shows? It was absurd.
829.
829 from.
Are you serious?
Yes, from BBC. I'm like.
So the
What?
BBC is number 20 with 829 active shows. They only get 2.6 million downloads.
That's it. That's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just looked up our rankings for this show at chartable.com. We're ranked number 64 in the politics category.
Wow.
In the U.S.
That's great. Although, I'm just saying, you guys, it could be higher if you went over to wherever you get your audio podcasts and subscribe to the show.
Subscribe, leave a rating,
review.
leave a review. All those kind of things help get those numbers up there. I know it's a few extra steps, and people have done it in the past. It's time for you to go back and do it again. I'm just trying to get some job security. And if you look up the news and why it matters, oh, it's just there and it disappeared.
It's in news commentary, right?
Yeah, and there you go. The news and why it matters. You are ranked 75th.
Mm-hmm.
In
news.
In news commentary, you're 31st.
Yeah.
No, I read it wrong. Yeah, you're 31st in news commentary.
News commentary.
So there you go. And you're 76 in Canada. And
Isn't that
46
wild?
in Australia.
We have a lot of Australian fans. I'm sure that they were, pissed off about being locked down and put in quarantine, and we're trying to find some outlet and maybe stumbled across us. But I know I read that all the time and I'm like, wow, that is wild.
So I'm just pointing out that we have better approval ratings than Jill Biden.
We do. It's true.
Smarmy bitch. I've said the word bitch a lot this week, and I just feel good about it.
You should.
And I mean,
I feel good about it too.
I share it equally about men and women. Just some people are whiny bitches. Speaking of whiny bitches.
Oh boy.
So Colton, by the way, we've got a book. We've got a book.
I didn't say it, Colton.
And I want to give you this planner, by the way. So I've been writing these books, trying to help you. These help books motivate you and stuff. Colton wrote a book called Anxiety Hackers. Mm-hmm. And anybody that deals with my merchandise and stuff, they know Colton. He's given away his anxiety planner there. You can also get the book if you go to freeanxietyplanner.com.
Awesome.
And he'll send it to you. Free book.
Great. I need one.
Yeah, it's a really good, helpful book.
Yeah.
But he'll give you his anxiety hacker planning book. So freeanxietyplanner.com. But I say all that to say Colton, who has access to all of my Facebook, has access to all of your Facebook because he runs some things. I think he's just nosy. We were talking the other night about the difference in the type of messages that you and I get. So my messages, people love me. I get a little bit of hate. I get people every now and then, they'll be like, we love Chad, we support Chad, we believe in Chad, Chad's awesome, Chad's amazing, keep up the good work, blah, 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 blah. You get a whole other level of vitriol. People want to F you. Yeah. They want you to F off.
Yeah.
It's weird. You get called the C word a lot?
A lot, yeah.
I mean, there's so much love out there by these liberal progressives.
Yeah, it is. It's really weird.
Apparently, love doesn't trump hate. Apparently, it feels real good rolling off the tongue when they get into your DMs.
It's funny that you mentioned that. My parents are in town, and I was just talking to them last night about how it's bizarre to me that these leftists are just, they love being miserable. They love being angry. They hate follow me all the time. Literally all of the constant trolls that I have on Twitter are following me. And I just thought, isn't it weird? I've never even thought twice about following someone that I don't like so that I can just be perpetually angry about what they've posted. Yeah. It's just not at all crossed my mind.
I get the same stuff. I get the same trolls on Twitter. You do too.
Yeah.
The same,
it's the same
fake avatar, fake people, and they comment the same stuff. And it's like they alter pictures with Photoshop to try to make it look. And I'm like, who has this kind of time?
Yes.
Who honest to God?
Who wants to follow people that you hate so much?
What level of shut-in are you that you have the time to put a draw a penis in my rear end? I mean, what is the deal with these people? Anyway,
it's weird.
So be it. So you know what I need? What's in this cup? Is this a News and Why It Matters cup?
It is.
You put it in she brought me whiskey.
Always got to promote.
Yeah. Sing something while I take a drink.
I don't think that I will.
Ow.
What? It's just
Ooh,
whiskey.
that's smoky.
It's Buffalo Trace.
Apparently, I have issues in my throat. Wow, that burned. That one hit different, is all I'm going to say.
Okay, sorry.
Speaking of hitting different, the New York City deli worker, Jose Alba, who fatally stabbed the attacker, they charged him with murder in New York City, 61 years old. They've dropped the charges.
Okay.
There should have never been charges, right?
Which attacker was this? There are so many in New York City. I can't keep up.
This was the one where he comes into the bodega.
Oh.
And he reached across the end. So anyway, he got the guy. And that was...
the Bogota?
So
is that how Joe Biden said it?
The guy, Alba, but the Bogota...
The Bogota?
Was pleading with an angry man, Simon. I don't want a problem, before Simon aggressively shoved Alba into the store shelves and grabbed him by the neck. Simon was incensed that Alba took potato chips away from a 10-year-old daughter of Simon's girlfriend, whose benefits card failed to work in the transaction. So the dude died over potato chips, in essence, which is stupid. But that was what happened. But he should have never been charged for that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They want you to be scared to protect yourself.
Well, and here's the other thing. So did you see the video the other day? And I commented on this, and then I deleted the comment on Instagram because I was like, I don't want the blowback from this. And I didn't know the full story when I commented, so I was like, okay. But the lady they pulled her over, traffic stop, and she just rams through the SUV, the police SUV, and she hit some people too who were on the other side, backs up and hits them again. And I was like, that's when you fire shots into the vehicle, right? You're using a deadly weapon. Then I read the full story. There was a child in the vehicle. Oh. So I'm like, okay, I get it. That's a tough situation. But still, police, you look at the Uvalde thing, which was horrible. There's no excuse for what I saw and what I understand about the Uvalde thing. But we've gut shot our law enforcement officers, and then we shoot them for not having any guts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've weakened them by taking away their ability to use lethal force. They don't want to fire their weapon. They don't want to do anything. But it's true for citizens as well, especially if you're in a place like New York City, which is insane. You defend yourself, and you're the one that gets in trouble. And there's a lot of people in trouble right now in China. They just announced a purge of CCP officials ahead of the elections. They're going to eliminate so-called gangsters, quote, gangsters, and the party officials purposely aiding them as Xi Jinping is poised to be reelected in an unprecedented third term as general secretary. You notice how the ones who are the most dictatorial have those very benign names like general secretary. Like if I referred to you as a general secretary, you'd be like, the f*** I am, right? But that's the way they give themselves the most, benevolent dictator names. I'm the general secretary of China.
I just love that they're still pretending like they have elections that matter.
Right.
That's really cute.
Yeah, an unprecedented third term.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to vote out the dictator, Yeah. Are you letting the Uyghurs vote? Do they get to participate in your free elections?
I have a feeling I know how they would vote.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, Xi's always running that anti-corruption campaign. So
great.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Be glad you live in America. Listen, we're
not too far behind them.
No, we've got some problems. I had Ken Cuccinelli on the show last week, and I got on there with the earpiece, and I said, before we started taping, I said, Ken, how you doing? He goes, better than America. It's like, man, that's sad but true.
That is really
sad. It's sad commentary, but it's true. But I got a feeling like if I'm a betting man and I could put money on Xi Jinping on getting that unprecedented third term, I'm going to lay money on that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to lay money on that.
Very likable. Okay.
So
if you don't want to die.
And by the way, before we go to this ad break, let me just say that when the gas prices go up, it's not Joe Biden's fault. It's Putin's fault. But when they come down a few cents, Biden did it.
It's Joe Biden's.
It's all praise for Biden.
Yeah.
All right. If there was ever a story that best encapsulated how bad crime has become, it's the one about the Starbucks providing baristas with active shooter training because our cities aren't safe anymore. And while the Supreme Court has made it easier for you to conceal carry for protection, it's your responsibility to be properly trained. That's why I highly endorse iTarget Pro. Their system allows you to dry fire practice with your actual firearm anytime in the safety and privacy of your own home. You don't have to make the inconvenient trips to the range. You're going to save a ton on practice ammo. Just download iTarget's proprietary app, load the laser bullet into your firearm, and start your training experience. Improve muscle memory, reaction speed, sight alignment, trigger control, and a whole lot more. iTarget Pro is going to come in all the major calibers, including .223 for your AR-15, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm you own. You'll save 10%, plus get free shipping with the offer code CHAD. I spell it Chad when you go to itargetpro.com. That's the letter I, targetpro.com. It's the smartest investment in your ability to safely and effectively handle your firearm. Plus, it pays for itself immediately. The letter I, targetpro.com. That's itargetpro.com. And while you're there, use offer code CHAD. Hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, so AOC, I'm learning things about AOC today. I was reading this tweet from yesterday where, I think it was from yesterday, where she said that, she called out, who was it, Nancy Mace, who was a candidate for U.S. House in South Carolina. Said, no faking here, because she talked about putting her hands behind her back and said it was a fake arrest where there were no handcuffs. She said, no faking here. Putting your hands behind your back is the best practice while detained, handcuffed, or not, to avoid escalating charges like resisting arrest. But given how you lied about a fellow rape survivor for points, as you put it to me, don't expect much else from you. So AOC, did she claim to be a rape victim?
Yes. So she did. And so this was, she is still running, but Nancy Mace is in office right now.
Oh, okay.
And so whenever Roe v. Wade was overturned, AOC came out to the streets, had never said anything about it, but they always try to use the excuse that they only like abortion because of rape.
Right.
As if you offered them the deal that, hey, okay, let's agree to get rid of all abortion except for rape and incest, as if they would take it. But so they all of a sudden started talking about the rape situation, and AOC was, in front of a crowd the way that she does, and she all of a sudden brought up that I, too, was a sexual assault victim when I was 22 or 23 years old.
Yeah, I could really put a mark on her life. I could tell that really.
Fascinating. She had never.
Don't even know what age I was. But.
No one, as much as she runs her mouth, hadn't come up until then. And all of a sudden she's talking about it. And so people, of course, question the credibility of the statement. You never want to tell a woman this didn't happen to you. If it did, it was just very convenient timing. And so Nancy Mace was one of those people.
Well, to the point on that story, putting your hands behind your back is not the best way to deal with law enforcement. Showing them your hands and keeping them in full view is a better practice, I would say.
Probably not moving one hand to lift up.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about best practice.
Well, I'm sure he used his invisible key to unlock her invisible handcuffs so she could put up her fist of solidarity.
I told you it's magic.
Well, I just know that the police wouldn't treat me like that. So there's some of her
The police
privilege.
didn't treat me like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything.
You got manhandled.
Yeah, I literally was standing there silently recording something at a public event, and I got manhandled by the police.
Yeah,
she was
did.
obstructing traffic.
Yeah, but were you raped?
You liked it.
No.
He sounds very rapey. Chris sounds very, you liked it.
We could tell because of what you wore.
Whore. You whore of Guatemala? I will say a prayer and light a candle to the whore of Guatemala. You're the whore of Juarez.
I'm just saying.
You're Juarez.
Listen, Juarez. Look, I say this as someone, I have never been raped, but I was sexually assaulted when I was younger. I'm not a victim. I'm not saying it to give myself points. I'm just saying I have been in that position. I don't try to clap back at people and use my sexual assault for points. It just seems weird that she said that to Nancy Mace like it was a big, Z formation snap. It's I don't know. I feel like if you're raped,
but do you
probably
think
don't do
that with this sexual harassment talk that's come up with both the Me Too movement and now this with the Roe v. Wade thing, is it now did suddenly? And I'm not making light of what women have been through because that's horrible. But do you think that they're starting to say that it's more prevalent when it's not, or is it just now because all women have been touched inappropriately? I mean, if you live long enough and you're a woman, unfortunately, men are garbage, and you're going to be touched, or you're going to be catcalled, or you're going to be harassed. I mean, I think most women have at least one experience in their life.
100%.
Probably more than that they could say, yeah, technically that was assault or harassment.
Yes. What really gets me are the women who talk about, the time that they were at the club with their friends and someone grabbed their ass inappropriately on the dance floor and they've never forgotten it. It's really? Come on.
That's why I go to the club. To get my fat ass grabbed.
I have a very hard time believing that that's that traumatic to a woman. But I'm also not a little bitch.
I mean, you might not want it. It might be an unwanted advance.
That's not traumatic. It's just not traumatic.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Why you at the club dancing like a hoe?
I saw what you was wearing when you left the house. What was you trying to attract? But I mean, obviously, men, keep your hands to yourselves and your comments. I mean, sure, we're not making light of that.
No, but I think they're the ones who've minimized it.
I think they have. And again, it's like the racist word.
Yes.
Like you use this thing to the point of white noise.
Yep.
No pun intended.
Yep.
But it is. It gets to a point where it's lost all meaning.
Well, a great example. We were talking about it earlier this week when our friend Alex Stein went and gave compliments to AOC and everyone was calling it sexual harassment. You say our friend like he's both of ours. Okay. I'm still keeping myself a little separated from this punk. That's fair. Fellow BlazeTV contributor, Alex Stein. He said that her booty looked good and a hot tamale.
And it did look good.
It did look good. These are both compliments, and somehow all of the left was like, that's sexual harassment. It's like, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that.
Well, let me tell you how far it's gone. I read a tweet the other day because Harry, whatever he is, he's not Prince anymore.
Oh.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Harry Windsor.
The artist formerly known as Prince Harry.
the royal formerly known as the Prince.
Yeah.
But Harry, whatever, he was in the headlines. I really wasn't even making, I don't know. Probably talking about guns or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because he's got to chime in.
Right.
And by the way, F all those pedophiles in the royal family anyway.
I'm sure you're offending Chris Cruz because he has this really weird bizarre fascination with the royal family. I'm like, I could not give a shit less.
Right?
What happens
you talk
over
about
there?
Usurpers and squatters on the taxpayer dime.
Yeah, and Chris Cruz
and contribute
fascinated.
Jack shit to society.
I don't get the fascination.
Me either, and they're all pedophiles.
Well, yeah, maybe that's why Chris is fascinated.
I mean, who knows? They drink adrenochrome. I don't care. Leave me a rating and review wherever podcasts are offered. But seriously, Harry came out the other day, and somebody, I posted, I guess it was the Blaze article, was on the Watch Chad Prather Facebook page, and somebody commented on there, said, dude, we're sick of you. Just go back where you came from. And someone underneath said, there it is, you conservatives, you right-wing bigots are so racist with the go back where you came from comment. It's like, there's maybe one person on the planet whiter than Harry, and that's Elon Musk. If you saw that picture of him on the yacht holding the drink or wherever he was at, bro, Elon is translucent.
Really? I have to look.
Have you not seen that?
No, I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, he's whiter than this shirt I'm wearing right here, which you can get at chadonblaze.com.
Which is really sad because he is African American.
Well, he skipped the equator. Let me just say, he ain't never been close to the sun. South Africa. I mean, he basically that's almost Antarctica. I can't say it.
Dear
Antarctica.
God!
You see it? It's there.
He's literally never taken his shirt off.
Translucent.
That's you're not lying.
I mean, that's when varicose is a color right there. I mean, you can see every vein in the guy's skin. That's disgusting. But anyway, but to call somebody racist for telling Harry to go back where he came from, he's white.
Yeah.
He's white.
Right.
That's like me saying to the royal family, you people are pedophiles.
Right.
What do you mean, you people? Well, I'm talking about the Queen, and I'm talking about what's the old man that died? Philip.
The prince.
He was a prince.
Prince. Yeah.
And then there's Andrew. We know Andrew's a creep.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Mama don't even talk to Andrew no more. So anyway, It's a mess. It's lost. The whole thing has lost meaning.
It's true. It's
and
true.
I think the sexual harassment thing has been diminished. And by the way, when you start crowning, dudes Woman of the Year, your whole thing about defending and believing all women and all that thing is shot to hell anyway.
Yeah, it turns out they actually loved the patriarchy the whole time.
They loved it. I mean, I love what Dave Chappelle said. What? It's like if Eminem was nominated Black Person of the Year,
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't black.
Right.
And
up in arms.
And he said the whole thing. He's like, you haven't even been a woman for a year. And he go name you Woman of the Year, And then they put Leah Thomas up as whatever.
Yeah.
Well, so I have it hard. And then you trot out the Anita Hills of the world and the Christine Blasey Ford, who is like, really? So I'm not saying that those things don't happen. They do happen. Sure they do. It's a travesty. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And like I've always said, I've never kissed a woman that didn't want to be kissed. I've never been with a man, and I ain't never touched a child. So I'm pretty vanilla, which that may be racist to say. I don't know. I say I don't think that's vanilla. I think that's just normal. That's the way it should be.
Right. Yeah.
I'm kidding about that being with a man. Elijah Schaefer. I mean, look, things happen when the FBI is looking for you, And he had to stay at my house, and they're doing no-knock warrants.
Oh, but I thought when you were hiding from the FBI, it didn't count. It's not gay.
Things when you're on the lamb, sometimes you happen. Do lamb things. Sheep, goat, whatever. Anyway. So who knows? But,
so I don't want to, I'm not trying to say she did or didn't. Right. I don't know. She's not credible. She clearly makes things up. She over-dramatizes everything. And certainly all of these women who are over-dramatizing sexual harassment and sexual assault aren't doing the entire movement any favors.
Yeah. So, I mean, the lesson to be learned here is talk to your daughters. I mean, protect your daughters, certainly. Talk to your sons. I mean, these are conversations I think we need to have as a society.
Also, pay attention to what they're doing.
Pay attention to what they're doing. And if they're going to the club looking like a floozy and she comes back,
go through their phones.
Check it out.
Big advocate of that.
Yeah.
No privacy in my house.
None.
It's my house.
All right.
It's my property.
There you go. Look at you. I mean, I paid a bill on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, you can have your privacy as far as, like, your bodily autonomy, obviously. But, like, your phone, all of your computer, all of that, that's mine. I can look at it at any time.
Well, you texted me yesterday, the other day, and you were like, am I being overprotective?
Yeah.
I was like, you can't be. You got to be overprotective.
Right.
You can't be too protective of your kids.
Right.
Right.
Well, you give me a hard time about it, but.
Well, I do, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm protective of you. I've seen your DMs. So there was this Arizona real estate agent that discovered the home she was living in was listed for sale. She wasn't selling it. She's a victim of home title fraud, and it's happening to a lot of people all over the country. According to the experts at Home Title Lock, it's incredibly profitable and hard to detect this crime. An identity thief simply creates a fake title transfer for your home and refiles as a new owner, then takes out loans on your home or maybe even sells it. Typical identity theft services and your home insurance, it just doesn't cover these things, but Home Title Lock does. Home Title Lock is going to put that virtual barrier around your home's title, and the instant they detect anyone tampering with your home's title, they're going to shut it down and help get your home back in your name. Here's what you should do. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and read some of the testimonials that are there, and then register your address to see if you're already a victim and don't even know it. That's like a $100 value that they'll give you. And when you protect your home, tell them I sent you. That's right. Put my name in the little box there, and it'll get you 30 free days of protection from Home Title Lock. So go to HomeTitleLock.com, register your home, and check it out and see what's going on. HomeTitleLock.com. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. You know it's that time of the show where I must attempt to at least try to wax eloquent. Those of us who celebrated the landmark overturning of Roe v. Wade did so with our eyes open, at least in most cases. We knew, for example, that in the immediate wake of the decision, states like California, New York, Illinois would become immediate hotbeds for abortion. The left, after all, has its own version of the satanic panic, and there's nothing more dangerous in the mind of a leftist than people who want to take their abortions away. And as I've said before, it's like we took away their slaves. It gets them, mad, pissed off, all these things. Well, the backlash is real, and it's hitting right about where you'd expect it to whenever the left is involved. It's hitting in the schools. Welcome to the United School District for Norwalk-La Miranda, where sits John Glenn High School in the great state of California. If Sodom and Gomorrah were located in the United States, I'm pretty sure they'd be in California too. In a move that can surely best be described as putting up a test balloon, this school district is actually considering installing a Planned Parenthood on campus. Now, before all you conservatives out there get your granny panties in a bunch, calm down for a second. They're not offering abortions at the Planned Parenthood, just contraceptives and IUDs that you don't have to get parental permission for. And if you do want an abortion, they'll make sure you get referred to a Planned Parenthood off campus where you can get that little problem taken care of. Oh, and by the way, if that isn't horrifying enough for you, those same minors who can get reproductive care without the consent of a parent will also be able to get gender-affirming care, very likely including hormone therapy, because we wouldn't want to leave the trans kids out. Folks, if it's possible, separate out the politics of this for a moment, okay? It'll be tough because politics is deeply woven into all of this. The DNA of the left's hatred for anything resembling a moral society is all over things like this. But just step aside from the politics for a second and ask yourself, is there any part of this that sounds like a good idea? Is there any part of it? Now, we're talking about giving children agency to not only do adult things, but to do them with essentially no supervision. It's a scary thought. Now, imagine handing your kid a big old handle of vodka and a bottle of Vicodin and saying, here's your supply for the weekend. I'll see you later. Make good choices. It's irresponsible. It's stupid. And that's when you remove the politics from it. Now, the element politics adds to it is intent, because none of this is being done stupidly. None of it's being done ignorantly. This is on purpose, with a purpose, folks. Keep firmly fixed in your mind the fact that this is not the left experimenting with our kids. There's no experiment about it when you already know what the outcome is going to look like. And listen, I know we've largely written off places like California as lost. I mean, we frequently make jokes, I do it every day, but we talk about them having the one big earthquake and floating off into the sea. And I'll admit there are days when that sounds pretty damn good. But there are over 39 million people in that state, and they can't all be shitheads. In fact, I know they're not. I've been there. I know them. Listen up. If you live in California, your state's going to hell. It's going to hell. Don't stop fighting it. I mean, yes, we welcome you to come here to Texas if you need to get out. But if you're in a place where they're trying to do this kind of thing and you have the ability to fight it, keep fighting. You're the heroes in the trenches right now, and your state needs you. We must never underestimate the power of redemption, and even a hellhole like California has enough good people left in it that God might not destroy it with fire one of these days just to clean the place up. So, yeah, Sarah, I'd say it's okay for you to be an overprotective parent.
I know, you were talking and I was just like, you're proving my point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Which I guess the term overprotective really makes it sound like the point is that you're being too protective.
Listen, the mother of my children and I, we didn't get along, but I mean, we hung in there for 14 years, but one thing we did was we had the same value system when it came to our kids. And a lot of people thought, man, y'all are overprotective when it comes to your kids. I heard it. I heard it. And I've told people over and over again about giving your kids a value system, because right and wrong is not always the same for everybody. But if you give them a value system, they'll choose right from wrong based on what their own convictions are, and they'll tend to go on the right path if you do it right. We gave them a value system, but we protected them. We never took our eyes off of them. We didn't just let them go into the bathroom at the Walmart by themselves. These were things. And again, when you got 4 kids, it's helpful, because they help look after each other too. So we taught them to be protective of each other. But this is the kind of thing, because we know that society is evil. I mean, look, we live in a place here in Texas. We're right here I-45 that runs through Dallas down through Houston and ultimately to the southern border. Look, it's one of the main arteries for human trafficking in the United States. Houston, Dallas, major hubs for human trafficking.
They're bold about it too. They're going to like the suburban, rich malls.
They are.
Parking lots. I mean,
American Airlines Center where there's a basketball game going on.
Yeah.
There's all these things that are happening. So you can't be too protective of your kids. But when you've got the government stepping in, like California, and putting a Planned Parenthood so that your kids can have contraceptive and probably gender-affirming care and, IUDs and stuff, and the parents don't even have to find out about it. I mean, come on, where are you going to draw the line on this shit? I mean, it's just absolute insidious what they're trying to do. And this is your government. So again, let me echo what I said on Tuesday's show. This is my thought about the government right here. This is where I'm at when it comes to the government. I'm done with the government. So I had a big conversation with somebody. I don't care about Republicans. I don't care about Democrats. It's the government, period. They're all scum. They're scum. I'm basically an anarchist now. I think I'm an anarchist.
I am too.
I'm just like, you govern you, I'll govern me. Keep your hands off my shit, and I won't touch your stuff. Let's just do that. And if you do mess with me, you're probably going to get shot. So,
and also taxation is theft.
Taxation is theft. And let me tell you something. The IRS wants me to send them a check right now, and I just don't. I wait and wait and wait. I have a real hard time with it.
Well, the government picks and chooses which laws they want to actually abide by themselves and which laws they want to enforce. Why can't we pick and choose as well?
We should be able to. And you know what? You get taxed on the money you make. Then you got to pay an income tax. Then you get taxed on the house you buy. Then you get property tax. You pay sales tax on so on your goods that you got. So you're getting tax. It's absolute effing theft to do what? Keep propping up the puppet like Joe Biden and all of his cronies up there that have been there for 900 years?
Well, he's
older than Methuselah.
They need a lot of money to keep sending to Ukraine.
Well, yeah, so that's why I say I don't really want to fund what's going on in Ukraine to put guns in the hands of citizens that are Ukrainian while you want to take away my guns. And let me tell you, I just watched a video, and it's viral by now, of law enforcement coming to somebody's door wanting to confiscate their guns. I mean, it's happening right here in America.
Yeah. It's pretty scary.
I need to take my blood pressure medicine, I think. Nope, never mind. I got whiskey.
Oh, gosh.
It's just, I got off the rails on Tuesday. I got all fired up. I want to get fired up again. I know y'all love it. You love it when I get pissy.
I was like that the other day on my show too, talking about the mask mandates going back into effect for San Diego.
Yep.
Talking about California.
Yep, I saw it.
And it's just, and some people get mad. They're like, you don't have to swear in order to prove a point. And I'm like, sometimes it's warranted.
And I don't really give a shit what you think either. So, I mean, I love you. You don't make no mistake. I love you. But at the end of the day, like these people's like, I'm still praying for you to clean up your mouth. Well, save it.
That
because
it's just
I get it, but you don't know what I deal with, and people say, well, you're showing your lack of intelligence, and I'm okay. I'm a reasonably good wordsmith when I choose to be.
Right.
I am specifically choosing those words on purpose.
Yeah,
because they say it like nothing else.
Well, it's true. I mean, and when you do it on purpose, I think that it's because we're so passionate about what we're talking about that we use those words.
You've got a swear jar on your set.
I do have a swear jar. I'm not reading a prompter like the talking heads at CNN with no convictions, right? Like, we really truly believe in these things. We really truly want our fellow citizens to be free and have less intrusion from the government, and it pisses us off.
Ass, hell, and shit ain't bad words. F, C, and P, those get a little strong. Yeah. Those get a little strong. Yeah. But some things just don't say it like those say it.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. I can just see the email from management. Leave your
comments at wherever podcasts are offered. All right. Recent rulings from the Supreme Court. I need to mention that these wins didn't just happen on their own. It took the support of companies like our friends over at Patriot Mobile, who have passionately fought on behalf of the unborn and your constitutional rights for a long time. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative mobile phone provider. I love them. I'm good friends with them. I think they're great people over there. They've been on the front lines fighting for your values. Talk about having convictions and believing something. Listen, they put their money where their mouth is, and they're different from every other provider out there. Inflation's made it hard on Americans. means Patriot Mobile has plans for almost any budget, and they offer the same nationwide coverage as the major carriers. So you get the same great service. Plus, your money's going to a company that fights for the sanctity of life, religious freedom, Second Amendment. Go to patriotmobile.com/Chad. Call them at 972-PATRIOT. Use offer code CHAD. I spell it Chad. They'll give you free activation. If you're a veteran, first responder, they got special discounts just for you. So tell them. Come join our movement. Make the switch today. PatriotMobile.com/Chad or use promo code Chad when you call 972-PATRIOT. We'll be right back. So this week's overtime, I want to talk about this climate emergency that we're in the middle of. We're going to talk about that in overtime, give you some perspective on that, because they're up to some nefarious things. And again, the climate is, well, just watch overtime. I'm telling you, the excuse is what they're using with the climate, and it's going to have some major ramifications for you. So make sure that you're subscribed to BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad when you sign up. And be part of the family over at Blaze TV. And, this morning I was listening to Glenn and Pat, and they were listing off, our family, of the family at the Blaze. They were listing off different hosts. You and I were conspicuously off that list.
Really?
I mean, what the hell is going on?
Huh. Wow.
They didn't talk about us at all. I mean, they didn't mention us.
What a way to find out we're fired.
Bit. We're like that dude down in the basement in Office Space, right? We just give us our stapler and we're down there. We don't even know if we're not employed. We just come in here and pretend like we are.
Was this when he was talking to our friend Eric July? Can I call Eric July our friend?
Eric July is our friend. In fact, I donated $25 this morning to Eric July's campaign.
Good for you.
I've donated a little bit to Eric with his whole Ripaverse thing. He's raised almost $3 million now.
I did hear him talking about Blaze TV hosts owning their own shows and mentioned Eric July, and I was like,
I heard that.
Eric doesn't have a Blaze TV show.
Doesn't have a show. I heard that too. He said, we own our own shows, and
I was like, what? This is also news to me. I had no idea.
Wow. The executives are in the building. I might have to go upstairs and have a talk.
Yeah.
But Eric, he's got Ripaverse coming out, the ISOM. I really want a first copy of that, and I want it's one of the signed ones. But if you go to his website, ripaverse.com, RIPPA, ripaverse.com. He's got a lot of stuff for sales. I can't figure out exactly which thing I want.
Yeah.
But I donated more money to him because I believe in that. I put my money where my mouth is when that comes to stuff like that. Too. Even though, I mean, it's a token $25, but it's something. Yeah. I believe in it,
Well, right. And if you do want to spend $25 and you believe in it, you probably also could go over to AmericanBeautyBySarah.com and get a lipstick.
You sure can.
I'm just saying.
And you can look like Sarah.
And yeah, you can.
You even buy some booby tassels. I think.
We don't have those. We don't have those available yet.
Yet.
We're working on the prototype. It's a lot of research for me. So.
Right. And I'm working on swimsuits over at 76forever.com. We're about to have our subscription box come out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So our subscription box, we're going to have all kind of trinkets and toys and shot glasses, and our new 76 logo looks badass. Our boxes look badass.
Everything looks
badass.
But
enough about that. I mean, I don't think we can talk about these things since we don't own our shows. But watchchad.com is where all the fun stuff is. We didn't get to a TikTok yesterday. Chris, your choice. Play one for me, baby.
Hi, TikTok. My name is Summer. I use she, they pronouns. And a fun thing about me is yesterday I came out as trans to my whole family.
Hi. Hey everyone, my name's Ash. I use they, them pronouns. And something you might not know about me is that I love flannels.
Hi, TikTok. My name's Lolly. My pronouns are he, they. And a fun fact about me is that I have a girlfriend and my favorite animals are frogs.
Hi, my name is Mars. I use its pronouns. And I love pink and Legos.
Good morning, everyone. I just woke up and I was laying here with TikTok like you do in the morning. And I was thinking about this comment. We've been getting it a lot, especially since we just introduced our 4 kids again on TikTok. And, a lot of people ask us, why all the kids? Why is it the whole family? Why are all your kids gay, non-binary, trans? So I was thinking about how to best explain it. I think it's really important to take them child by child versus seeing them as a collective, 4. Mars, the oldest, came to us through the normalizers, and so Mars already kind of fit this profile. Mars is non-binary, and Mars is lesbian, and autistic, and those are all probably reasons that Mars was drawn to our page in the first place. So that doesn't have really much to do with, how they were raised.
Yeah, well, I can give you a better explanation. The short bus slammed on the brakes in front of your house, and a whole bunch of those retards spilled out. And you got them. I mean, that's what's there. And you're trying to see who can outdo each other.
Cut.
They're trying to see who can outdo each other and one-up one another with a different pronoun or a different sexual preference. So, no, you just got a bunch of kids in your house that are begging for attention, Mom.
Also, the amount of autistic people who
okay,
also
so the
identify
autistic
as
thing
trans
is a deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is, we're seeing this huge rise in the autism cases for whatever reason, whether it's medical, stuff they're injecting in people, whatever your theory is on all that stuff, the rise is really
certainly
there.
Something environmental that's
and we're
causing
seeing this thing going on, where now you got all this suddenly this through the roof, everybody's trans something.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's almost as if they just have a mental disorder.
Exactly.
Almost.
Which is the why I said it the crude way to get your attention about the short bus. You got a mental disorder. It stopped in front of your house and not the asylum where they should be. But no, ultimately it goes back to what we talked about earlier this week. It all comes back to parenting.
Yep.
Listen, all the tongue-in-cheek aside, it comes back to parenting. These kids are begging for attention.
This woman,
and this is how they get it.
She should be investigated by Child Protective Services.
This is how they get it. Mm-hmm. And again, folks, I'm done pulling the punches. I'm going to say what I feel. I'm going to say what I think. And this we're just going to keep putting up with, and I'm using the word very specifically, retardation. Okay? We're making this thing. You don't like the word? I don't care if you don't like the word. We're making this whole thing. The word has meaning. You are retarding their mental development. Fact.
It's true.
It's the word. That's what the word means. Get over yourself. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Minuteman Coffee. I love those guys. They're unapologetic, too. They love their country, proud to be a great, fast-growing coffee company, one of the fastest in the nation, as a matter of fact. The economy's bad. Everything's going through the roof price-wise. But Minuteman Coffee, they didn't change their prices. They didn't raise them. You can still get that full pound of coffee for the same price as most companies sell a cup for. And they partnered with Share Life Vacations to give you that 3-month prepaid coffee. With the prepaid coffee subscription, they're going to give you the free shipping with it, but they're also going to give you not only the coffee, but $100 towards a hotel that's good at over 700,000 locations worldwide. So $95 is going to get you 3 months of coffee, $100 towards a hotel. Can't beat it. Go to MinutemanCoffee.com. If you don't like that deal, use promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. 15% off your first order. But just go ahead and sign up for the subscription and get the $100 towards your next hotel stay. Go to MinutemanCoffee.com. MinutemanCoffee.com. We'll be right back. Sara Gonzales Unfiltered on YouTube.
The new one.
Go check her out, and also hit like on if you're watching this on YouTube. But subscribe to Blaze and check Overtime tomorrow. We're going to get into this climate science and all the crazy stuff going on. Sign up at blazetv.com/Chad. Go over to watchchad.com and see where all the fun stuff is happening. And you can do some shopping, come to a show. I think our next show's in Lubbock, Texas, the end of the month. And AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. We'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.